Alright. Hello again, it's Pickin' Vegas and Beyond, back with another video. Oh man. Not real sure what I'm gonna talk about in this one, but I know I'm gonna show you some stuff that my family found. Someone threw this out. It's a shop vac. I tested it, it works, so it doesn't have the hose, but it does work, so that's all that I care about. Eventually I'll... Nope, that ain't gonna work. It's not gonna fit. Okay, so this gonna have to go up top then. If I can get it to go up there one-handed. Yep, I got it. I like these cabinets because the top part of the cabinets basically acts as another shelf. So if I had them all four spread out, that would take up more space, but at the same time that would be, and I don't know what the shop vac will bring. I'm guessing around 30, 35, something like that. But this, I don't know this exact model, but I know I had one similar to this before, and it sold for like 150 bucks. I'm not sure if this is one of those that's going to bring 150, but I'm guessing somewhere around 100. If I tested, it does work and everything, but I just noticed that there's one little thing here that is stuck. Everything else seems to work. It's just this one is stuck. And I think that's probably why they tossed it. Just because that one is stuck right here. So most likely that's going to affect, I don't know. Oh. And now it just snapped off in my hand. Well, that's not good. Well, so much for that. Oh well, I'll still be able to get something for it. I didn't pay anything. My family brought it back from when they were trash picking. I'll just leave it there for now because it's busted up anyway, so I don't know. That's I don't really know what I'm going to do with this video because I'm trying to make sure every video I make is minimum 10 minutes because I'm sick and tired of making little tiny short videos that, especially now that my channel's blowing up, I've gotten more views in the last probably 3 or 4 days than I had in the last year, so it's been crazy. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about too. I forgot about that. So I know a lot of people don't really think that you can make money with local sales anymore. I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can be. I just don't like to tell everything, like as far as like the really high-end stuff that I find, I don't like to tell you the name or model or whatever, because I don't want the value of those items to go down because of people finding them and lowering the prices or whatever. Because every time I've noticed that when, like, I don't know, my brain is all over the place right now because I'm trying to figure out how to explain it without sounding like an asshole. But basically, I've noticed that a lot of times when you have something that's worth a lot of money, and then people like resellers on YouTube talk about those items or whatever, the price tanks, because then you have everybody going out looking for them, and then I'm going to lower the price so mine will sell first, and then someone else does the same thing, and then someone else does the same thing, and before you know it, the price has dropped so much that it's not even worth it anymore. So that is why I don't really, when I find something that is worth a lot of money, I keep it to myself because of people tanking the price. Because to me, my time is more valuable than anything to me. I want to make money for whatever I do. I don't want to, I don't know, I'm not like other people who think that selling $9 items on eBay is worth it. I'm not that. I don't have that type of mentality. I like to find high dollar items, unless I can find it in huge quantities, and then it might be worth it for me, especially if it sells fast. But other than that, it's not worth it for me. But anyway, done with that rant. Now I wanted to talk about selling things locally. A lot of people don't believe that you can make money doing that. But that's not true. That's not even remotely true. You can make a decent amount of money selling locally still. But you do need to be careful because of everything going on in the world, and some people are desperate, and not everyone is nice, and not everyone is honest. Just be careful. Always make sure that when you meet someone, meet them in a public place, and if you can, make sure someone else is with you when you go to meet someone, because I have had people act really shady when I met them. I had one of the craziest situations I had someone ask me to meet them at a grocery store in California. I forgot the name of the town now, but this is when at the time, I was working over there, and I think I was working like an hour away from the town where they had me meet them. And we want whatever it was I had to sell, I don't even remember. But I go to meet the person at the grocery store parking lot that they told me to go to. I got there, and they were there. I pull up beside them, and then all of a sudden 2 more cars pulled up. like, and I don't know, it seemed like they were trying to box me in, because the people that I was supposed to be selling the items to were on one side, another car pulled up on the other side of me, and then another one on, like, behind me. And I tried not to let my mind, the first thing that popped into my head was like, they're trying to, pull some shit. So, and I lived in LA for a long ass time, so I recognize that type of stuff. So anyway, I tried not to assume something was going to happen or whatever, and I kept talking to the person that I was dealing with and basically ignoring the other two cars, because I was like, don't assume whatever, maybe they're just people going to the store. So then the one that pulled up on the other side of me got out and tried to open my passenger side door. And I'm like, okay, yeah, something's going on here. And then I looked at the one that I was talking to. I'm like, so what the hell is this? Why is he trying to get my door open? Like, I don't know him. I don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, something is not right. Anyway, long story short, the one I was dealing with ends up telling the one that was on the passenger side something in another language. I don't even know what the hell he said, because I don't speak whatever the hell language they were speaking. And then 5 people jumped out of the other vehicles, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, nope, and I just got out of there. Another time, and this wasn't even like a local deal either. Another time, I had just left sale in, I think it was Barstow, California. And I had these 2 cars follow me. These really thuggish looking people were in the cars, covered in tattoos, and had the grills in their mouth and everything else. And so, and I wasn't driving this time, someone else was driving. I was in the front passenger seat of a brand new car. And it was a brand new, sedan. And it wasn't my car, and it was a rental car, and the person driving rented it because at that time we didn't want to run up the mileage on any of our vehicles, so we rented a car to go on some sourcing trips. And the one driving was working for me at the time. And anyway, we left this big sale. Like I said, I think it was in Barstow, or maybe it was Victorville. It was one of those towns over that way somewhere. And these 2 cars full of people covered in tattoos. Most of them had grills and just anyway, they had loud music blasting through their stereos and all this, and we're driving down the road after we left the sale, and I bought a bunch of stuff, like really high-end stuff. They had like I don't even remember how many pairs it was, but they had a bunch of pairs of like new old stock Nikes and Jordans, and like literally from like the 90s. And like, so, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't remember everything I got. The main thing I remember getting at that sale was all those pairs of shoes, and all of them were new old stock, like literally still had the new shoe smell to them, you know, like when you get a brand new pair of shoes and you bring them home. Yeah, especially when you get the like Jordans and Nikes and stuff like that, they had that particular smell to them when you first get them. But anyway, we're driving along with, like, the trunk was loaded down with stuff. The back seat was stacked all the way up to the ceiling. All the floorboard in the back was stacked all the way up to the ceiling with stuff, and just from one sale. And these two cars, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, because I noticed them like watching me when we were at the sale, because I always keep my eyes open watching, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, we get probably a couple of miles down the road from the sale. Here comes these two cars. One of them goes around us and like jumps over. They were in another lane. They jumped over right in front of us, and the other one gets right behind us. The one in front of us slammed on their brakes, and then the one behind us slammed on their brakes. And then I looked at the guy driving that worked for me at the time. I'm like, fuck that, go around them. And he went like that and went around, just as the driver of the car in front of us jumped out with a fucking gun in his hand. I'm like, nope, the hell with this shit. But they ended up, we took off down the road as fast as we could, and I had the guy driving get on the freeway, and we went to, I forgot what town it was. We went to some other town not that far away, and ended up getting a room and unloaded everything that was in the car, took it into the room, and then I had the driver go to Walmart and buy a bunch of boxes, and then I shipped everything we had back home. And the messed up part about it was, later that night, I went to the car because I forgot something in the car. I don't even remember what it was now, because this has been probably 3-4 years ago now. But I went to the car, and there's one of the cars that had tried to rob us driving in front of the motel. Then they were just staring at me, and I reached into my pants and pulled out a handgun. I'm like standing there like down to my side. I'm like, go ahead and try something. As soon as they saw the gun come out, they like sped off. But sometimes you gotta be prepared for stuff like that, because like I said, some people are just up to no good. You can't trust people you don't know, especially when you come upon something that's actually valuable. And some people want things without actually paying for them. But back to the whole point of what I was talking about is you can still make money selling locally, but you have to be careful about it. And I've made a good amount of money today alone selling locally. I don't know if the camera's actually picking up the money very well, but I've made a decent amount of money today. I don't even know how much is here, but if you know what you're doing, you can still make a good amount of money selling locally. That's the whole point of what I was saying. But just make sure you're always careful, and make sure when you go to sell something to have someone else with you every time, because not everyone is honest, and some people are up to no good. And don't think just because, you know, for example, don't think just because someone is a woman that they're honest, or that they're not going to be up to no good, because I've dealt with women multiple times that were just as dangerous, if not more so, than men. So just don't judge everybody. Just try to keep your, listen to what your gut tells you. That's the best way I know to put it.